Hello and good evening. On an unusual Wednesday night, I was going to say Wednesday morning, but Wednesday night show. Um, how's everyone doing tonight?
Fantastic. Thanks for inviting me back to co-host with you again. I'm thrilled to be here because of who our guest is tonight.
Yes, Matthew Clarke from Cork Supernatural Society. We finally have you on the show, Matthew.
Yep.
Thank you
Thanks
for
a million
being here.
for having
Thank
me
you
on.
so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. I've watched your work and I love your work. I think it's fantastic. And I've
Thank
watched
you.
many paranormal teams here in Ireland, and I love what I was going to say produce at the end of it, but what your findings is phenomenal. I am going to do a little bit of a call out of your bio.
Yep.
I'm going to do a wee bit of a bio out about you. So, Matthew Clarke now runs Cork Supernatural Society. They started up as a group in 2013. They started off as a family group due to paranormal experiences we had over the years. And I have been involved in urban exploring since I was a young teenager, which grew into the paranormal field with my family. As the group grew, we added more members, and I am the last of the original group to still be involved. And my next investigation will be my 200 investigation. And at this stage in my life, being involved in the paranormal is all I know, and it's a full-time thing for us. Our aim is to actually disprove the paranormal, but have experienced and captured some truly bizarre things over the years. Currently, we have full access to a chain of Cork heritage bars, which have a long history of paranormal claims. We have investigated numerous amazing sites, including the Cork Asylum, the Magdalene Laundries, Lep Castle, Spike Ireland, and many more. And I have many questions for you with these locations. What a place to go. Your 200 investigation.
Yeah. That was last night, actually.
Huh? It was last night?
Yeah.
Was it? How did it go?
It was a quiet night. We went back to a place called Canty's Bar. We'd got an EVP which said, "Help me," the last time we were there. So we went back. A staff member had reported something during the week. He'd been locked into a room. So we went back. So it was a quiet night. We didn't experience anything on the night, but I still have all the audio and footage to go through.
Exactly, until you get through the audio.
Yeah.
And then it's going, and it's not the best part when you're doing, when you think you have a quiet night. Which do you say no?
No, I don't. I hate doing the review part.
Listen, I've got recorders sitting here on my desk, and they're screaming, "Do me!"
Yes.
And I just haven't gotten the mojo to get into it just yet, because it's one of these things when they download them and so on and so on.
Sometimes when I'm setting up on a location and I have several, maybe 2 or 3 recorders, and then I'm putting out all the CCTVs, which you have to watch all of the footage and listen to all of the footage. I'm like, as I'm putting it out, I'm like, what? Why am I doing this? It's like going to be punishment later, but
It really is a full-time job.
It is.
Listen, Matthew, I kept saying, why am I not getting paid for this? I wouldn't have to work a day in my life if I got paid for this, if we all got paid for it. Yeah. It's great going out to locations and investigating. But God, and I know some people go out and investigate and they listen to the audio and go through video footage and so on, and it's a lot of work. I know, Hopi, my dogs always start every time I go live.
Yeah.
They always start every time I go live, and it's a lot of work to get the locations and so on. I wanted to ask you as well, when you do locations, do you do repetitive locations? Do you go back to the same location time and time and time again?
Yes, yeah, we do. We kind of, sometimes it might be a one-time place. We might only get access for one time, but I prefer to go back to them as often as we can.
Yeah, that's me.
I think we get more when we go back. You get familiar with the place. You get familiar with any spirits there. So I think going back a few times is a good thing to do.
Yeah, I
agree with that a lot, wholeheartedly. Yeah.
I love repetitive going back to locations. That's what I do all the time. My dog is crying for some water.
Have you ever noticed the spirits becoming more cooperative because they are familiar with you? Or
I would say yes. We've recently, one of the pubs we were doing was called the Poor Relations. That is the first EVP we got, which said it's only me or just me. We asked how many spirits are in the building. It was just me. We went back a second time, and we were using the spirit box. I'm not a huge fan of the spirit box, but on this night it was really clear. And we got a man called Michael came through. We know he was killed on the property. And we got a year. The end of a sentence was 19. I don't know, was that his age or was that a year? It sounded like something, 19. And he was actually the manager of the Poor Relations. He started doing investigations with us since we went to his bar. And he used to play music, a song called The Contender. It's an old song about a Cork boxer. And the spirit seemed to like whenever he played that song. So him being there too was helpful. It seemed to help with activity.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I like to experiment with music a little bit too, and they can be very clear about what they like and what they don't.
Yeah. It's amazing. It is amazing the stuff that you can pick up. It is like if you keep going back somewhere, and a lot of it patience. A lot of it is patience.
Absolutely.
And I think they really figure out. I think they figure out. Okay, you're not here to bother us, to expel us, to all the things that maybe go through their mind. And it's one of the things I say right away. It's like, hey, it's me. It's your good friend. Remember me?
Yeah. It's kind of like you build a rapport.
I'm not here to get rid of you. Don't worry about that. I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to come in and yell at you, and I'm not going to try to make you leave your home. That's crazy.
It's something we never provoke or we just basically go in and talk like it's to each other, just be
that's it. When you go in and you have a coffee or you conversate with each other and so on, and it's just like for me when I go to the same location time and time again, there's some locations that make me a little bit nervous, but that's okay. That's just human nature. And there's other ones like say in the museum here that I do in Drogheda, and I go in now like it's home from home. It's like family, if that makes sense. It's like family. And like I say it time and time again. Not all history is written in books. You research the locations, and we're getting a lot more from that.
We're
getting a lot more from it. There's some locations that you've been to. Actually, I want to ask you first and foremost, and I know I read here on your bio as experiences as younger and your family. What did you experience when you were younger?
So I would say the moment that really intrigued me. We have a place. It's called Nanonagles. It's a convent. It's been open to the public now. Nanonagles famous in Cork. And me and my sister, we went in for a walk around the cemetery there. At the time, the convent was still in use. But you could walk in around the grounds. And we both saw, it was almost like smoke in a window on the second floor of the convent. And it just caught our attention. And we went over closer to it. And it was over about 2 or 3 minutes, this smoke developed into a human shape. I'll always remember the hand. You could see the fingers on the hand very clearly. And there was another couple, an older couple walking a dog. They clearly saw it as well. They just stopped and we were staring at it. Yeah, 4 people seen it like. And it just, I'd never really thought about ghosts or anything like that. I was just amazed by it. I wasn't scared by it. It wasn't a scary experience in any way. But I was just, for years, as I got a bit older, I was thinking, what could have caused it? We actually, me and my sister went into the convent and asked, was there something in that room kind of that would cause it? Like, but they just looked at us like we were mad.
Did you ask the nuns?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and even if they, between themselves, knew
Yeah.
about this spirit, or I'm sure they are aware of the spirits, they're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, we were just wondering, was there something that could possibly explain it in the room?
Yes.
We were like, it was so clear, it was just crazy. It was crazy, and from then I was intrigued by it.
Okay. Well, which leads me to the question in the bio that I read. It said maybe you started to disprove paranormal.
Yeah.
How did that?
Love that.
How did seeing this thing appear over quite some time, which I'm glad you mentioned that it took some time. People think that it's always 1 second and it's gone, but that it took some time to manifest. Is that one of the things that made you want to try to disprove it? Where
I was kind of, even though I saw it and I saw it so clearly, it was as the years went on, I was thinking, did we see the human hand develop? Basically, could we have got spooked? And it just didn't seem possible to me. I never believed in anything to do with the paranormal. Even as a child, I never remember watching ghost shows and being scared by them. So I was always intrigued by history.
Lovely.
And it started for us it was more about exploring abandoned buildings. And from there, we had a few experiences while doing that kind of led into the paranormal. And I always looked back on that experience and said it's something I'd be intrigued to try and find out more about. But the aim was initially to see basically was there anything to it? Was there something to the spirits, or was it all? Could we explain it basically?
I love that when you were saying that when you started off with the paranormal that you were into debunk.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that you wanted to go into debunk, because like we all know, not everything is paranormal. If it was so simple, holy God, if it was so simple, a 2-year-old could do it. Probably they do, because they speak to spirits sometimes. But, if it's that simple, I think the debunking part is the hardest part. I think the investigations, and people can say everything is paranormal. That's so bloody easy to do and to say, pareidolia and so on and so on. The debunking part is what I love about why you got involved in the paranormal.
A fascinating one. I always remember it was one of our first private home investigations. We went to a house and they were experiencing. It was like they felt they were being watched, touched, and as soon as we went into the house, all the EMF meters were going crazy, just absolutely crazy. To a point, it was strange. We have a reader that gives an exact figure, and it was off the rails. I've never seen this. Like, even if you put your phone up next to it, it doesn't go off like this. So what it turned out to be was the house. It was an old house, and it was rewired wrong. So we told them that's because if you look it up, that can cause, if you're in a house that's badly rewired, it can make you feel like you're being watched. Some people go as far as saying it can cause cancer. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but they do say there's a lot of bad things that can happen if you're in a house like that.
It can cause you nausea, hallucinations, because it messes. Your brain is electrical, and all that massive amount of electrical field. It's like if you walk under the giant wire towers. I don't know if you have, those kind of things. You can feel your whole body. It's not good for you. It makes your whole body buzz and all that, and it eventually throws you off. But you can hallucinate, vomit.
It was fascinating, though.
Get hives. You can have physical manifestations like hives and blisters.
So, anyway. They rewired the whole house anyway, and all the activity stopped. So that was an intriguing one.
Really, you see, and that's like, my job here is done.
And it helps them in so many ways, because you can say, well, you're not being inundated by spirits, and you're not crazy. You are not experiencing a mental illness. This is a thing that's fixable.
Thing. But isn't it great that when you could have debunked that and you did and so on, is that not even better than
I think so.
finding something
I
in,
think
you
so.
know, did you hear this EVP? They're
Yeah.
like, EVPs are my thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, say, Jenny, we're going to, I was going to say New York for the night, but I would go to New York for the night. Let's just say we're going to New York for the night, or you want to stay home and do EVPs. I'd be like, oh, it's a little bit of a hard decision. I'll do my EVPs in New York. But I love audio. I mean, I do.
To me, it's like the quintessential bit of evidence in a way, because you know that you're not saying those things on there. How did it get? And when it's relevant and intelligent responses, that sort of thing. I mean, where did this voice? I've had people say all kinds of things. Well, you're saying that and you don't realize. Then send me to the asylum. Maybe not the one I'm in right now, but you know what I mean. Send me to an asylum, because if I'm making all these voices, first of all, I'm a master ventriloquist. I should be in Hollywood doing voiceover. You know, it's like you're like, listen to what you're saying when you say that. It's like
it is, and I know so many times, so many people would, you know, I listened back to old audio that I've done about 4 years ago, and I listened to it, and I'm like, there's nothing on that. What was I listening to?
Yeah. Or you hear new things. I've heard new things.
And it's just learning. I'm going to throw a quick hellos here before we go into more questions, because I have people saying hi. Maf, first timer. Maf, enjoy. It is
welcome.
Thank you and welcome. I have well, there's Jillian. How are you? It's Jillian.
Buonasera, Pietro. Someone else is new tonight too.
We do. We have a new one here as well. Got up the list here. Maff from Limerick. Got our Limerick. I love Limerick.
Okay. Oh, that's
love the t-shirts, Jenny. We have Redwood Castle. I'm promoting Redwood Castle. I told Kalisa, Louise was in Redwood Castle with me a few months ago. I'm promoting. I told you I'd buy it, Louise. I told you I'd buy it. We have a few questions in here very quickly from Nando. I'm on tomorrow night with Nando. What are your thoughts on these apps like the Necrophonic? Matthew, that's you.
I personally don't use apps. I would be open to trying them, I suppose. But we know what works for us in terms of the cameras and audio we use.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I'd give anything a go. I would have my doubts about them. I've seen people use a few of them, and I didn't think much of them, to be honest.
Unless you go to a place that you know, and then they give you something like an answer that you know what the answer would be.
Yeah. I just like with an audio recorder.
Yeah.
I know it's mine. There's nothing on it that can
and it's not being run off an algorithm.
Yeah. You know, so
and a database. Yeah.
So I've never used them.
Yeah.
Nando Nagel is well known in Limerick too. We have Nando Nagel Primary School. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
This is from Muff as well. What are your thoughts on Zach Bagans, etc. provoking?
I think a lot of it's for TV. It's entertainment. You know, it's I don't really watch many paranormal shows. I don't. I've seen it. I remember they came to the Hellfire Club, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Have you been to the Hellfire Club?
I have. Never been that night though. Never done an investigation there.
Me neither. I did it in daytime, but not nighttime.
Yeah, I've been there during the day. I know.
What do you think of it?
I loved it. I felt fine up there. I didn't experience anything.
I felt fine in it until two people was walking out, and I was on the second floor looking out, the arch windows, and they were walking down to the edge of the grass, and I'm like, guys, stop. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I thought to myself, I am standing in the Hellfire Club
alone
on my own, and these two people are like dots. And I'm like, now should I fight or flight? Yeah. And I decided to freeze.
Literally, wasn't it cold that day? Wasn't it like raining?
Yes, actually,
literally we're freezing.
It was torrential rain walking up that hill, and I was in live doing it, and I thought we're going to need helicopters to come and get us.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. I would like to investigate it.
I would too. I would like to, but I would say it is little bit dangerous at nighttime.
Yeah, I have heard that.
Yes, I know a good friend of mine, and she was up there, and it was a no go. Like they were doing great, and then you had a group of guys going up in black cloaks and on the roof of it, and oh Jesus, could you imagine? But I would, we would have to get a group, like 2 or 3 teams.
Yeah, there's a woman in our group. She used to be with a group called Echo. They were a group in West Cork a few years back.
Aye, yeah.
They done 2 nights. They done 2 overnight investigations there, and they brought they brought a big group of people, about 15, 20 people.
What?
And that's the thing. Then it's not that big of a building.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah,
like realistically, you'd want to do it with 4 or 5, but then safety. So
safety is a big thing. We almost camped in overnight. We were planning to camp overnight, and I'm just not kind of that into it too much that I would camp overnight. I went one Sunday afternoon. I met a great group from Chicago there, and they were kind of great. We got really good results in the daytime. You could hear DVPs and so on. Okay. There's a question here from Anthony Lewis. What ghost adventure you been to? Which ghost adventure?
I think they're asking location, maybe location.
Okay. Oh gosh, we have
so many. Yeah. And well, on that, how about we just go right into another question that's part of this? How about that? Pamela would love to hear about your experiences at the Magdalene Laundries.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a building that was always active. It's actually the only building we've ever left due to activity.
Wow. Did you?
It was about this time last year. It was about December time last year. There was just me, myself, and Paul. There's only 2 of us there that night. And we'd been in there about an hour, and nothing had happened. We felt perfectly fine. And we just had a door slam. So that was the first. We'd been in there, hadn't seen anybody, heard a door slam. It's an abandoned building, so we put it down to. It could be, just wind, or it could be something falling. Then about half an hour later, we heard it sounded like a cupboard, something big and heavy, just being dragged across the floor. Really, really loud. And the floorboards in there weren't good, so there's not even anything in there to move. Followed by another slam of a door, and we just got a bad vibe from it, and we were kind of thinking it seems to be moving something heavy. There's nothing there. What could it do to us if it can has the power to move something like this?
Good question.
But we went back there again about a week later with one more person, and we didn't get anything that time. But we never actually got EVPs there. It was doors banging, stuff moving, and I don't know. I didn't feel any bad vibe from the place, if I'm being honest. But it was just that night. There was just something very spooky about the sounds, and we just decided to call it a night.
So there was nothing that was being dragged or could have been dragged. Would you say it was residual?
Possibly. There was nothing that we found in there anyway that would make a sound like that. This was extremely loud. We did find a bathtub, but it was in a different part of the building. There's 3 blocks to the Magdalene Laundries in Cork.
I would love to do it. I would love to do the Magdalene Laundries. I would just be, oh, the Lord, bring your rosaries, bring your water. I am going in. Yeah. These are places that I would love to do. And I would never provoke, but I ask the questions that probably shouldn't be asked.
I will ask direct questions that is not provoking too. There was
I'd be very, very
I can be direct because they're it's like I talk to them like I'm talking to a person. Like if we're in a frank conversation, I might ask a very direct question, but not in an angry way or demanding way. And I've said some rude things and some lewd things and some very sweet things and all of that in between, but never like in the provoking way, because they're already most likely, I would just guess there's a little bit of suffering and involved in being left in this. Is it in like an abandoned building? I'm not familiar with what it looks like. Or you said the floor.
Actually, it got burnt down about 2 weeks back.
Did it?
It's been burnt a few times, but the block we got all the activity in was where the orphanage was. So you had an orphanage on one side, you had a convent in the middle with the nuns, and then the last block was where the women in the Madeleine laundries. That's where they worked. That's where they slept. And the actual laundry itself was out the back. The laundry itself is gone. So that was burnt down about 10 years ago. So what's left is called the Good Shepherd's Convent.
Okay.
And it was the orphanage we always got the activity in. But again, absolutely huge building. It was.
Now, are people investigating why it's burning, or is someone setting the fires? Is it an accident?
It's just groups going in there drinking, young kids, kind of teenagers. You know, it was. Cork has a lot of buildings like that. Cork Asylum would be another one. Just huge places that have been totally left derelict for years. And they get burnt every once in a while.
So if you're that night you were there and you were hearing these things, it does make sense that you would just kind of leave, because what if something, it's just like fight or flight, like Jenny was saying. If something loud happens to go right next to you, you're not expecting it, and you take off running, which I don't run anywhere, but like you could just step and fall through,
easily.
Right? And
easily.
When you're in a rush and the adrenaline's going, you could really, really get hurt. And that's one of the main things I worry about when people say that they're urban explorers and they go into these places. I'm like, I hope you have good insurance, or, or the country you're in will take care of your broken legs. I turn into my mother. You're going to break all your bones, every bone in your body. Don't do it.
But I think I think if I see an abandoned building, like I've seen a few on my way down the country, down to, Lep Castle, Redwood Castle, and so on. I've seen abandoned churches and so on. And I'd say, pull over, let's go in. Or abbeys or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, bloody well going in. I've been to abandoned houses before. And I've gone into them. I remember being in Glasnevin Cemetery in Dublin. Yeah. And myself and my friend were walking around, and I never forget this day when we came across it was an unmarked headstone, but it just said the Magdalene Laundries. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We have one of them here and there's no name. Yeah. And it was and that's like history hitting you in the face.
It is. And even the place, the Good Shepherd's Convent, where we investigated, right at the back of it, there's a mass grave for the women of the Madeleine Laundries.
God almighty.
It's totally like it's been smashed to bits by teenagers.
That's just bloody ridiculous.
You can't get to it if it's way up high. You have to, if you want to get to that, you're going to be climbing barbed wire and stuff like that. And there's a lot of controversy about that for years, because people want to get to it.
Would anybody go around and kind of work together and kind of break this down and kind of do it up for these women?
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk, but the place was bought. The Good Shepherd's was bought about maybe 4 years ago, and they were going to turn it into apartments, and they were going to have a remembrance garden. Yeah, apartments, but they were going to have a remembrance garden there for the women, but it's such a massive property.
Oh my goodness! There's so much.
Then people want to. Sorry, go ahead, Matthew. They want to dig it up in case there's more women buried there. There's quite a few women that have been in there. They have just totally gone off record. So where are they? What happened to them?
It seems like a university or someone would want to come in and do a dig there. An archaeological dig.
Yeah, it'd be brilliant. It'd be brilliant because there's a place, I don't know if you remember, there's a place here called Besborough Convent. And that's a place where they've found a lot of children in unmarked graves from orphanages over the years.
Yeah, I do. So
you don't know, with the Madeleine Laundries having an orphanage there as well. This one was an orphanage as well. What else is there?
They say, and you see, Robin, they say, and this is Jenny. They say it's like the most Catholic country. It is the most. It hid a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to get into religion or Catholic or anything like this and that here because that's my forte.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of rugs when it comes to this in Ireland, and I don't have any rugs. I'll openly talk about it, but I'm not. I won't. It'll be a private, not a private show. It'll be a show, and I can talk about it. But I'm very open and vocal about it. It's desperate. It's not good. It's bloody awful.
No, I can't. Sometimes I think about, all of our history, and surely there's been, all genders have been hurt at some point, but women have been the workhorses of, and they just a man could have been married several times and he just works his wife to death, literally, and then gets another one and another one. And I've heard these stories over and over. And then you get into a situation like this, and the kids that are wanted, a lot of times they're here at the orphanage, but they're trouble. It's a bother. I have to feed you, I have to clothe you, and what are you doing? You're ungrateful and all this stuff. And it's really easy to start that abuse cycle. And it's just, I can't even comprehend the amount of suffering, that might have gone on in a place like that, whether they tried or not. It's just inherent, and it's just it's mind-boggling.
It's a scary part of the city, because you had the Madeleine Laundries. Right next door to that, it's the old Cork City prison, which was a woman's jail. They're literally pretty much connected. And about maybe 5 minutes of walk away, you've got the asylum. So I've often heard there's a few stories of women that have escaped there, gone to the streets, been sent for robbing, and then been put up to the asylum because they're just fed up of dealing with them.
Oh my goodness!
So they've literally been that.
They left and they ran.
It was a frightening part of the city back in the day.
Aye.
Yeah. So
are these buildings still standing there? Is the prison still standing there? It is. So you have these three amazing...
The prison's the only one that's open to the public. That's a tourist site, like Wicklow Jail now.
Aye.
And the other two then, the asylum and the laundries, are abandoned.
God.
I really want to go now. I'm like, it's horrible, it's sad. Let's go.
But you gotta, I think for these places I would go to for the women and not for paranormal. I would go for the women to hear any names. Anything like that being said, it would nothing be like, can you hear me? Can you not? No, that bull crap. Sit with them as woman to woman.
Sit
with them, and that's what I would. That's the good thing about.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to tell them about the progress, and they were part of that stepping stone to the progress of my wonderful life that they didn't have, but they had to go through. Do
you do that, Matthew? Do you tell them how?
We did in the Madeleine Laundries. We just came up with an idea of telling them there's groups now. I think they're called the Madeleine Laundry Survivors, and all the work they're doing, and that people are people feel guilty about what happened, and it's moved on to some bit. So we try and tell them that kind of just basically if there's anyone that actually there, try and make them feel a bit better, I suppose.
They're not forgotten.
That
they're still remembered, and we didn't forget them. And the women of Ireland, and how dare the religion and the whatever of Ireland do that to them. And that's another whole story. That's a whole no show for me to do. Trust me. But I'm glad that you did, and I'm glad that you're letting them know that that they're still part of us, still part of now, and that they're not forgotten, and that people still think about them. People are still angry with what happened to them. And Ireland is really pissed that this happened to these women and their children.
And it's all, I suppose that's what makes it worse. It's all pretty modern history. We're not talking 500 years ago. We're literally talking.
True.
My mother, she used to go up to the Madeleine Laundries when she was a child, as there's there's a girl called Little Nelly. They wanted to make her. They believe she had holy powers, and they wanted to. She had a holy communion at like 4 or 5. She was a girl that was put in there. The nuns loved her now. Look her up. Her name's Little Nelly. It's just an interesting story.
Okay.
But, her grave is actually in the Good Shepherds. And when my mum was growing up, they used to go and have a look at her grave. The nuns would bring them up, and they had no idea about what was going on. They thought it was an orphanage. They didn't know about the women in there. They didn't know. They kind of. So my mum literally remembers the building in use.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In use?
Yeah, it was in use. It was still a laundry when my mum was growing up. My mum was in there to look at this grave while all this was going on. So she remembers it very well.
Well, let me just say, let's move on from that now, because Jennifer's going to come up with a few choice words, and we don't want that. Yeah. That is just
and it just teaches me a lesson too. Like the next time I go to complain about something, I'm just going to remember those ladies instead, and just zip it.
Yeah,
you know, it's ridiculous. It's wow. I'd love to do a whole show on the Magdalene laundries.
Yeah,
part of in Ireland. Okay, I'm going to ask you, what was your scariest moment on investigation?
Scariest moment? I suppose the only time I've left, as I said, was the Magdalene laundries. But there was a moment, I don't know, I wasn't scared at the time. It was actually in Redwood Castle.
Was it?
Yeah.
Hey.
Was it in Redwood Castle? Oh my God.
Yeah. We were down in the chapel there.
Yeah.
And I felt it like a burn on my back. It felt like someone put a lighter to my back. And I was just standing up in the middle of the room. And just a sudden hot spot on my back. So I just asked, I just showed my back to the lads and said, is there anything on it? They didn't see anything. But later that night, we had a look again, and there was scratch marks, not really deep.
Really?
But, yeah, scratch marks down the centre of my back. And, you know, I've always found Redwood a very welcoming place, and I've never felt
I was going to say that. Like, I wore this T-shirt. Sorry, I keep hitting my microphone. I wore this T-shirt for you, Matthew.
Yeah. But, like, I love Redwood, and I've never felt anything bad there. And, I don't really know what it was. That was it played on my mind a little bit, I suppose.
It's the only place I feel comfortable in. Redwood Castle is the only location that I've been to in Ireland that I feel comfortable in.
Yeah, I'd be happy, if you said stay there alone for a night. I'd have no problem there.
Well, I'm not going to go that far now. I don't go to the bathroom on my own, for Christ's sake, with 20 people around me. I still don't go on my own. So what happened? So it was in the church, in the chapel.
The chapel,
Redwood.
The chapel in Redwood. So that played on my mind, I suppose. There's been other times where maybe a door banging. I remember there was one night in a place called the Eldon Hotel. It was, it's a place in Skibbereen, and it's where Michael Collins stayed the night before he got killed.
Wow.
But we were doing a night there, and 3 of us were staying in the building. At the time, the hotel was closed, and there was a pizza shop on the ground floor. So it was just the 3 of us in the building at this stage. It was about 5 or 6 in the morning. We were all in bed, and I remember hearing a voice in the building, just a loud voice, and I was wondering, had someone broke in? We had the keys, that spooked me for a minute or two, and it woke me up, and I just stayed awake for a few minutes. And I heard a few minutes later, it sounded like something being dragged down the corridor. Something heavy, almost like a suitcase being pushed down the corner and stopping right outside the door. I opened the door, and there was no one there. It was just, that was spooky, 'cause I know I heard it, and it was right outside the door. And initially I did think, has someone got into the building?
I'm more intrigued as to why you opened the door. It's like a movie. Turn the lights on and don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It probably wasn't the best idea.
you open the door, I'm like, what? I'd be like in bed, holding my breath.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a very spooky moment, and there was that building is one of the few I felt uncomfortable in. It just felt like, even when there was nothing happening, when we were just, the investigation itself was mostly quiet, but you just didn't feel alone. That felt like you were in a busy. I felt like someone was pushed up against you or something. You know, like being on. Yeah, I felt like you were on a train, and there was just people around you.
Wow.
There was something about it I didn't like, and I don't mind. Like, I go to a lot of abandoned buildings and a lot of places by myself, and I don't mind it. It's just that was one of the few buildings I didn't like. And
would you go back again?
Yeah, I'd love to go back, but it changed ownership, and they won't let us back in.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's actually back in use as a hotel.
You can book in. You can book in.
Yeah.
There's not a hotel that I have been to that I haven't tried, at least to like say, okay, I need some time alone in this room, you guys, like whoever I'm with, like, I don't care if Vegas or anywhere like that, Las Vegas, but other places too, where I'm like, I need some time alone. And I can't think of a hotel I didn't get a response in. Hotels are so active, like even the more modern ones, people die all the time in hotels, and you'll never hear a word about it. They go there to die. They die on accident. There's a lot of things that happen. They overdose. There's all kinds of things that go on.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing now, when I started the paranormal, that I said hotels are not what I thought of them to be as. And now I kind of go with an infrared light and turn the lights off and just kind of like check the walls, you know, for splatters. Check the bathroom.
Actually, one of my favorite things, I don't know if it's the most intense thing that ever happened to me, but a favorite thing, you know, my parents used to have a furniture store. And so I would go with them to the furniture show where they would pick out what was going to go in their store. Well, I had my room, and it's just a regular hotel, you know, just like you'd see, you know, kind of semi-modern. And for whatever reason, I got on the computer and I was like, any deaths in this hotel? And it turned out that there had been a man, and it was a casino as well. He had lost his money, the family's money, and he went into the parking garage, and he ended his life in the parking garage. So I started calling out to him, and he answered. He came on strong. He did everything I asked. He was turning the TV off and on. He was doing all kinds of things. But the scariest thing to me is I was standing barefoot, which I probably wouldn't do in a hotel anymore. But I was standing barefoot on the carpet. And I said something like, can you tap me or pull my hair or something on the bottom of my feet, which means he had to come through the floor on the arches of my feet on the bottom. He goes, dink, dink. Yeah. Like beep up to on the bottom, so where I just kind of got on the bed and I lifted my feet up off the floor, and I was like, thank you. But it was super creepy because people think there's a ghost in this room, and we think so concretely, these walls, this floor, the ceiling, that they may not be subject to those bricks or that wood or that sort of thing, because he would have had to have passed through the floor in some way in order to tap. Because I know it, because that's what it felt like. 2 fingers, tap, tap. And anyway, I don't know, but but any hotel you ever go to, modern or otherwise,
we've actually got a place in Shandon Street, which would be one of the more historic streets in Cork. It's called the Maldron Hotel, but that was formerly the north. It was a hospital for many years for the north side of the city. Yeah. So that's a place famous now for paranormal.
Really?
I spent a few nights there. Never got anything.
What's the name of it, Matthew? What's the name of it?
It's the Maldron Hotel, Shandon Street in Cork.
The Maldron. Oh, that's a chain, isn't it?
Yeah,
Maldron Hotel.
On Shandon Street.
I think a friend of mine works in the one in Dublin, and he gets discounts. So I'm going to get
then you get your balls on, and you walk down in the middle of the night to the one person who is like tending the desk overnight, and you say, "Hey, would you mind? Can I go walk through the ballroom, or can I go? You know, is it okay? Like, I won't do anything." And usually they just go, "Well, not supposed to, but go ahead." And
I'll do my thing. I'll
start walking around.
I'll try. And I know in Loftus Hall they're making it into a hotel.
Yeah, I've heard.
And I've never been to Loftus Hall, but I will be at a hotel. I will be. Did you go to it, Matthew? Have you ever
I've
been
never
to
been to Loftus. No, never been to Loftus.
Me neither. But listen, let's get a convention together. Let's all paranormal teams, and I'm sure a lot of paranormal teams will be meeting in Loftus when it's a hotel.
Yeah,
I've never been, and I'm so intrigued.
How far apart are you two, Jenny and Matthew? How far apart how far is Cork from Drogheda?
4 or 5 hours.
Yep,
okay.
4 or 5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
As we say in Ireland, it's down the road.
Yeah.
Because when you get down to Cork, you're literally at the end of Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are at the edge of Ireland. That's it, Cork, and then and then we have the north. And I think a day's trip in Ireland. It would be about what? I'd say if you're going to drive it, about 8 hours.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. If you don't stop.
I've actually been to Drogheda. I'm a big football fan, so I've been to Drogheda loads of times.
Have you?
Watch football. So
where did you watch the football?
I think the stadium's United Park. It's where
that's
Drogheda
beside me. That's beside me.
Yeah.
Yay! Are you kidding me?
Yes, I've been in Drogheda a lot.
When you come back, if you come back up, let me know and I'll take you to Millmount.
Yeah, love to.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd love to do somewhere.
Totally. Listen, let me know and I'll bring up to Millmount in a heartbeat.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'd be definitely up for that.
I'd love you to have a wee look at Millmount.
Yeah, I'd love to.
I think I kind of need you there to have, just to, I'd say nothing to you, give you your confidence, and you just do your thing, and I'll just step back and have my coffee and let you kind of do your thing.
Yeah, brilliant.
I'd love that. Definitely, even in the new year, pop up to Drogheda and I'll bring you over to the museum.
Yeah, brilliant. I'd love it. Love it.
Do you know what I want to do? I want to play. Well, we'll definitely arrange that. I want to play one of the audios. Now, let me tell you, this piece of audio is my creme de la creme.
And Matthew, do you think you know what all of these say? Oh, he's frozen for me. He's frozen.
Yeah.
Okay, because one says unknown, and I was like, that's clear.
Yeah. You can hear. Robin, you go ahead for 2 seconds. I'm going to let my cat out because he'll not stop crying. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to turn this off, my camera off for a second because you don't want to see it. 2 minutes.
So when I was converting it over so we could upload it to StreamYard, I wasn't sure what they said, and when I heard one of them super clear, and the one I didn't write it down. The Kelly's bar. Where a female just says like one thing. I mean, you know what that says, right? Because it says, the thing I have, it'll say unknown because it was written unknown, but we do know what it says. It was pretty clear, and I think that was pretty cool. And then the one that's coming up that has 2 words, well, I think we don't have to be secretive about. It says just me or whatever. That was phenomenal. And then the third one, I wasn't sure what it said, and when I heard the female say the full sentence, and so I don't want to say what I think it is until we listen to it, until Jenny comes back and we play it, and you tell me what you think it is, because I once I heard it, I was like, this woman is in a panic. That's what I thought. She's like, oh shit, like I'm in a panic. Yeah,
that was actually that one that you're talking about. That was the first EVP we ever got. So that was just when I had that. I was just amazed. I was thinking, I was the only one. We only had one audio recorder at the time. We were literally just starting, and it was my one, so I knew no one could have faked that. I was just amazed by it, I was just absolutely amazed.
Well, it's quality and it's a full sentence, and I was just really happy. And that's that first EVP kind of starts the addiction, doesn't it?
Yeah. Apologies for enough there now. Otherwise, my cat would not have. Oh, sorry, I keep hitting this microphone. My God, would not have stopped crying. When I heard this audio, and I said to Robin, Robin, listen to this. I said, are you co-hosting a show with me next week? Listen to this audio. And I knew for a second that, okay, Robin wants in on this. Robin wants in on this piece of audio. So we're going to play it now. You talked about it when I was gone, did you, Robin?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Well, we didn't know which one, but yeah, we went over.
Oh yeah, the one, the Poor Relations bar.
Okay.
Is that the one? Okay, so I'm going to play it now. It is rocking.
Are there many of you in the building?
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Like
jazz hands, phenomenal.
That's the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
I mean, like, did you ever go back and find out who Just Me is?
That was only recorded about maybe 3 months ago.
Oh gosh.
So we went back. It was a handy one because the manager of the bar, I actually knew him from before, and he's big into the paranormal himself.
Awesome.
So we did go back. We've gone back twice since. The second time we didn't get anything. The third time through the spirit box, we were introduced. A man Michael came through. It came through 4 or 5 times on the spirit box because I'm not a huge fan of that. But this is Michael. We kept asking for a surname, and we just couldn't quite get it. It was like he was trying to say something, but couldn't get the surname. But Michael's the first name. We know he died in the building, but we don't know how.
Could you look up history records, say the library or something like that?
Yeah.
You can look up history records.
We have been doing it. I can't find anything yet.
Okay.
One thing, we asked him, could you give us a year? We were getting a response of 19. So I'm not sure, was that his age? Or was he saying something, 19? But all that was coming through was 19.
Oh, the year maybe.
Possibly, yeah. I wasn't sure, was it the year or the age?
It
was just 19. But a few times it sounded like something else before the 19. So I assume it was a year, but I'm not 100%.
It's not the best thing about doing repetitive locations that you can still go back again.
Yeah, and
okay. Oh, wow.
It was fascinating because the manager Eric, there'd been activity in the bar over the years, so it was one of the heritage ones that we were allowed to do. So it was just on the list, and we just went there to try it basically. And he used to, the thing he'd always do when he'd go to cash up at the end of the night, he'd go up to the office. This is where we got the EVP. And he always used to play the Contender, a lot of old-fashioned songs. And on the spirit box, we kept getting a response of the Music Man. So we assume he was talking about Eric, the manager, that he liked the music.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, he liked, because we kept playing the Contender. It's a song about Jack Doyle, a boxer from Cove. So we kept playing that song, and we seemed to get more through the spirit box when we played that music.
Do you think the guy who's saying the Music Man and the guy who's saying Just Me is the same person?
Same person, yeah.
Listen, this is better than a soap to me. Yeah. I need to follow up on this. You need to keep, I tell you, I'll be on your tail to say, Matthew, did you go back? Did you go back? When are you going back?
Yeah. You know? So are these records online? Like, can you look the records online, or do you have to go to a library or some sort of conservatory to?
You can, a bit of both. To get more detail, the library would help. You can look up certain things. Yeah. You get bits and pieces online. But so far, in the record, come across a Michael yet. The thing is, the Poor Relations, it was a meeting spot of the IRA during the Troubles. So we don't know, was he an IRA member that was killed? We don't know, was he British? We assume he.
And you might not always keep records of that. You don't want to go in and do clandestine things and keep a good record of it.
Yeah, because it was fascinating. Because we assume he's Irish because of the music. A lot of them would be rebel songs. The Contender would be an Irish song. So we assume he's Irish because he seemed to like the music.
I would say, what's a popular, like, can you whistle, like maybe try to get a whistle of a few notes on an EVP or something? Can you whistle the popular song? What's your favorite song? You know, that sort of thing. And you never know.
Yeah. We did ask, we asked on through the Spur box, do you like the Contender? And we got a yes, maybe 2 or 3 times to that.
Okay.
So that seems to be his song.
I'd go in an instant. Yeah.
When are you going back?
Hopefully soon now. They're kind of, the pubs are busy at the minute with Christmas.
Yes,
New Year,
in the new year. Yeah, in the new year.
Yeah. It's been brilliant though, because we've been very lucky to do these places. There's about 14 or 15 of these pubs, all heritage pubs, and we've been given success. So it's been brilliant.
When I first heard that audio, I mailed you and said, I mailed you something like, oh my God, and I was like, how many of you are here? Just me.
Yeah. And it was brilliant, that one. We were doing live EVPs, so I asked a few questions and played it back straight away. So we knew we had that piece of audio when we were on site in the room.
Did you ever in that location get any other EVPs but just him?
Not yet.
So when he said just me, is it just him in the location? I'd be very intrigued to see if you get other EVPs.
Was it just that night he was alone, or, you know, and then you wonder, like, what my next question would be, like, when you're not here, where are you? Where do you go? And, you know, I've asked that before, and sometimes I get the reply, I don't know. And, you know, it's really, I'm always wanting to ask those follow-up questions, like, well, if you're not here, where are you? Please tell me.
It was really fascinating though, because we got a lot of information on the third trip through the Spirit Box. The best. I've never really liked the Spirit Box, but this night it was brilliant.
So did it change your mind a little bit about the Spirit Box?
Yeah, it did.
Did it change your mind? Would you use it more now?
We would, yeah. We always gave it a go. It worked. It's worked once or twice for us over the years, but this night was just ridiculous. You know, we were getting so much of it.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and we got the word lonely 2 or 3 times.
Does that not connect with
just me?
Just me and lonely.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And now, when we've been there, all the activity has been centered. It's the staff. It's up in the manager's office. It's actually, there's a toilet next to it, and it's just a small room that leads into a toilet. All the activity's been in this room. It hasn't been in anywhere else, so I don't know.
That's amazing. Are you the only team that can do this location?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So you keep it yourself, like you don't have, and this is the thing that many teams don't like, when you don't share your locations. And it's not sharing your location. It's like you're kind of like, you're not sharing it, because I know I have a location that I will invite people in with me. Sporadically I will, but only one person or 2 people at a time. That's it. And only friends or paranormal people. And it's Emerald Isle location that we are working on this. Hi, Raymond. We are working on this building. We're working on the story of the building. So I love that you have this location to yourself, that no one other team can go in and I'm going to use the word contaminated, because they can come in and ruin it.
I would have no problem with groups, but it's purely my girlfriend. She actually is a bouncer.
Is she? I love that she's a bouncer.
She's been working for this company for years.
Awesome.
And it's that chain of pubs that we can do. So they don't want anyone else in. It's only with her we can go in, because they trust her, you know.
That's the thing. And I love that your girlfriend's a bouncer. Go.
Yes, that's right.
What's her name?
Tanya, and she's into this too, so she's
Go
involved.
Tanya. I love it. And I love that, because I know I know I said it earlier, that when, you know, people are saying share your locations.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Like,
And that's part of building the rapport with that spirit too. And if you explain to them, so on the other flip side of that is like I've done events and things like that in some of these locations that are rented out all the time. And before the event, I literally walk around and I go, look, I know this is probably not your favorite thing, but the goal of the event tonight is to make money to like pay for the roof or to pay. The goal is to keep this place solid so you have a place to be. If you like it here, we're trying to keep it together. So I'm sorry about what's going to happen tonight, like with everybody coming through and everything. Like I do, I talk to them and I apologize. I feel like they understand.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do here very quickly, Raymond. If you're still here, that we played some audio about 5 minutes ago, and I'd like you to hear it. So if you're still here, let me know, and I will play it again for you. It is quite brilliant.
I'd like to hear it again anyway. It's just
I listen. I haven't stopped listening to it, to be honest with you. I even played it for my daughters, and like they're 12 and 19, and I said, listen to this, and they were like, oh my god, is that saying just me? And I'm like, yeah. And
well,
I'm
it's funny. The first time I listened to it, I was listening to the quiet part going, maybe I'll be able to hear this EVP if I try hard enough. And that's before I realized it's just me. I was like, holy shit, there it is. Like I didn't have to, because there's a little noise in there. And I thought, is that it? I'm going to have to listen 100 times. Then the real EVP happens.
Did you hear at the beginning of it when you hear before the just me comes in, that you get something, oh, Raymond, I'll pay for you now, that there's a little something coming in before it?
That's what I heard. That's what I thought we were going to say the EVP was.
Yeah, people have said that. I didn't actually notice it myself. But people have said that they think they have something in the lead up to the Just Me.
Always is. Raymond, this is from the Poor Relations Bar, and this is in Cork. Is it, Matthew? It's in Cork.
Cork City.
So it's in Cork in Ireland, Raymond, and I called you Raymond. We call him Ray, but I just called him Raymond. He must be in trouble. So this is called the Poor Relations Bar. Listen to this piece of audio. It is looped at the end of it, but it's fabulous. Listen, have a wee listen to it.
Are there many of you in the building?
Robin, I seen you hopping back on your chair there, thinking, don't fall off it. Hi, Matt. What's the story with you? So did you hear that, Matt? Did you hear it, Raymond? Did you hear it, Ashley? That piece of audio. What do you reckon? What do you think of it? It's one of my top favorites, I think. Like, you know, when you have your creme de la creme, is that yours, Matthew? Is that your top EVP?
Yeah, I'd have to say so. It's not even debatable what's said, you know. Usually there's kind of some debate. Yeah, that one's just
it's intelligent response, and you can clearly hear it.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's it. And Matt and Ray,
there was no real.
Sorry, Matthew, keep going. I know, Pamela. I know. It is a brilliant EVP. I keep playing it, and we have 2 more EVPs to play, and we have amazing pictures for you to see as well.
Yeah. Based on that EVP alone, I would immediately go to that location. If someone said, you can come with me, I would immediately go.
Listen, I tell you, girl, I will travel 5 hours down the country, and I'll say, hey, Matthew, let's do an investigation in this location. Can I come? Can I come, please?
Right.
Just to do it. And I know you have to have respect for people. You have to have intelligent people when you do these location or any location that you go to, basically any location that you go to. But the next piece of audio I want to play, let me go find it. It's going to be in the Ballycarry. I'm going to say it right now. and this is in my own country. Ballina, Car. You're gonna make me say it, Matthew, aren't you?
Try it too. Well, I didn't write it down.
Matthew's gonna try and make me say it.
Ballynacarriga. I have to see the word. I can't remember.
Matthew's gonna try and make me say it. Ballinacarriga. I tell you, this is my own country, and I can't even say it. What's it called, Matthew?
Ballynacarriga.
Oh, yeah.
Say that again. And I should know that. Ballynacarriga.
Ballynacarriga, yeah. And I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah. Well, then I don't feel too bad then. And this is
Ballynacarriga. Ballynacarriga. Right. Oh, that's Italian, you said? I thought it was.
No, it's Cork.
Gaelic or something.
Say it again,
that's what
Matthew.
I thought someone said it was Italian. I was like,
Ballynacarriga.
Ballynacarriga.
Yeah.
You see, in Ireland, when you have these words, they look one way and they sound a complete and utter different. Like when someone calls me Jenny, I think when they call me Jenny, gobshite is totally different opposites to what my real name is, you know? Sounds like Jenny, but it turned out to be gobshite. That's like Robin is looking like we had 10 heads. I'm joking. It's an Irish thing. It's like it looks like this, but it sounds like that.
Yeah. And the worst thing about that place is that there's a couple of different spellings for it. So
is there?
Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
We'll go with Ballynacarriga.
So tell us a wee bit about this location before we play the audio. Oh, should we play the audio first and then we'll
do? Okay,
should we play the audio first and then okay, let's get cracking on it. Oh.
Okay.
What? Okay.
So that was actually our first ever kind of big investigation. That was back that night. It was actually Halloween night 2013. And we only had one audio recorder. That was literally the only bit of equipment we had, was one audio recorder.
That's Louise is asking, what recorder do you use for EVPs?
I use a lot of different ones. That one was Olympus, but it's quite an old-fashioned one.
Olympus is great.
That place, there was a lot of legends to it. Stories of the puka and stuff like that. But we got permission to do it, so we just said we'll give it a go. And we'd actually left. We took about an hour break and just come back into the castle. You can hear one of the girls say, "I'm recording again." The audio, the EVP's caught like 5 seconds in. I think it says, "What about my child?" or "What about the child?"
That's not what I heard. That is interesting.
Okay, because it's just the one you were telling me about Robin earlier to Jenny. Listen to this one and tell me what you hear.
Yeah, because I wanted to. What did you think it said, Jenny?
Okay, let me play it again.
Okay.
I'll play it again. Okay. Oh, Lordy. That's one I'm going to have to listen to.
Okay, try this then. Try hearing this sentence. It's a woman panicking. And what I heard was she's panicking and she says, "I've overpressed his clothes." That's what I'm hearing. And
that's a lot of words.
His clothes. Well, if you think it is, try it.
I've overpressed his clothes.
I've overpressed his clothes. Or I hear the overpressed his clothes, because that would be like a beating, because remember the irons were what they were, right? Irons in the fire, and it was easy to make brown and black marks on clothing.
But Matthew, what do you think you've heard from this location?
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, I think it's "What about the child?" I think child.
Okay, I'll try to hear that.
Definitely child at the end, I think.
Okay.
The first part.
Let's play it again. I love this.
We're going to have to do this one again.
Yes, we are.
Okay, here we go. Lesson, let me tell you, I'm going to have to listen to that a few times because it's like 4 words.
Yeah.
We know
it's definitely a woman's voice. Definitely a woman's voice.
And she's got a tone of a little bit of panic or extreme anxiety, sadness, or something.
Yes, the last word is more passionate, like more fear, more harder.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if it is child in that castle. There's carvings all over the walls, and down on the ground floor, there's a carving of Catherine Cullen. She was the wife of Randall Hurley, who lived in the castle. And on that carving, there's a picture of, I think it's 4 children dotted around her. And they did lose 1 child from what we know. So I don't know. I did know, in saying that, I did know that before going there. So maybe that's in my head. Maybe that's why I'm hearing child, Isn't
it? You see, when like Tara saying sounds to me like something has to stop. And for me, with Matthew as well and Robin, when we do audio, we literally play it until we fall asleep on the counter. We play it until we have to, and then we have to stop for a second and say,
give your brain a rest.
You gotta rest your ears, and then you gotta go back into it, because I'm only hearing this tonight. I know you sent it on to me during the week, and I a million things going on during the week, and I said I'd rather sit down and listen to it when I've got 3 hours to give my full attention. So tonight is my first time giving this audio full attention. So in saying that, I want to listen to it more and more and more. And I want to take out the, when people say power of suggestion. I kind of don't want to put my take in it, but I gotta kind of.
Well, I would never present an EVP that's been manipulated, but when listening to these kind of things that could be either or, I will go into using like an equalizer type situation and pull out some of the other sounds in there and see if I can just kind of find that hertz where that voice is coming from. Sometimes that helps. I wouldn't present it manipulated like that, but just listening, just for my own benefit, to figure out what it says. I'll do that, and on that matter, I even reverse sometimes, and it's very clear in reverse.
What do you reckon, Matthew, on the reverse? When they say reverse, and I've been told this before, and I'm like, oh, I must do it, but I've never done it. Reverse audio.
We have tried it. I think it's interesting. Sometimes you can. Maybe I think you can hear something slightly different when you do it like that. So I would definitely, try everything. Try everything.
I do it only if it's a word, but it sounds garbled or something. I'm like, flip it real quick and let's see. And sometimes it's clear and sometimes it's not. It's just
like a big thing. I've that EVP, I've played it back so much now. That's what I hear, and I don't think it's just in my head as that.
Is it crazy? Matthew, does it ever blow your mind to say, oh my God, this is what I hear, this is what it is?
But we know that the human hearing, that we can hear different things. Remember in the pandemic, we were all bored as hell, right? So we were all talking about the Yanni Laurel. Some people would hear Yanni and some people would hear Laurel. Do you remember that? Yes. That sort of thing. We're all playing, and EVPs can really be heard differently. But there's also multi-layers. You can knock out some of the hertz, and only one of the words can be heard, and you put it back in, and the other word can be heard. They talk at the same time.
But you see, sometimes, Robin, there's simpler people who just do bloody audio and and these hertz and so on. We get it, we do it, but. Like, for an example, like I'm going to ask Matthew as well, because I want to know about your experiments and so on, because I like to know that. When I do my experiments, when we do the phone experiment at the ITC, we have in the last investigation we were in the Drogheda Museum Millmount, we had gotten something we could make out, but there's a lot of noise in between it. I would love to I have it on I've downloaded it. I want to put the whole thing into reverse, but I ready to hear the whole thing in reverse?
Yeah.
So, Matthew, that's my next question to you. Have you done experiments?
Yeah, we
What
have done. It was something we didn't do for ages. But there was one night, and it kind of just started night. We were in St. Kevin's, which is one of the asylum buildings here in the city. And we went there, and Jackie found it was a note. It was an old dorm, and she found a note with a patient's information. It was a patient basically writing down her thoughts and feelings in a cupboard. We found it,
Holy
and
crap.
Jackie was just looking at it, and she read out. There was a poem at the back of it, and she just read out this poem, and all the K2 meters started to go off. All the EMF meters started to go off.
Loving it.
Yeah, so sometimes like that, if we find something in a location, we would try and use that. We might read it out.
Yeah.
Music. We've played music a lot. Kind of sometimes, most of the time, haven't got a response, but we have played music in locations. I can think the Power Relations, as I was saying, that worked there. And there's a place called Elizabeth Fort in the city. We played. That was overtook by. That was British at one point, Irish at another point. So we played some songs connected to do with that.
The mighty black and tans come and fight me like a man.
Yeah, well, that's so we got a few. We didn't really get much doing that in the force, but we'd have tried different stuff. And one thing we like to do, the EVP we got in Ballinakrieger, of that woman, go in and play it back. On a speaker, play it out loud while you're in there, and just to see would anyone recognize the voice? Would anyone come forward?
I love that you do that.
Yeah, it's never worked. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, it's never worked, but it's worth a go.
It is worth a go because it will work someday for you. Yeah. It will. It does.
Yeah, that they can hear their own voice.
Yes. Yeah.
So you do the playback. And when you're in location, Matthew, when you're on your location with your team, I think you said earlier on that when you're doing investigations and then you're doing audio, you do a live playback. So is that like, for me, is that like a playback on the night? So you do like 10, 15-minute session and then you do a playback?
How we do like basically 2 minutes of a question, ask a few questions and play it back straight away. Literally play it back in a speaker there and then. If you get nothing, we'll do that maybe 4 or 5 times in a room. Play it, just ask 2 or 3 minutes, play it straight back. If we get nothing, then we'll just move on to another room and we'll just do a straight EVP session or whatever. But we have found that to be interesting. We've got a few EVPs and it's good, when you actually hear it
that you can continue on.
Then you might Yeah, it's like having a conversation.
That you can continue on your next question with the location.
Yeah.
One thing that I did like about your method,
whatever response you get, you can actually go.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. So you listen back to the EVPs and continue on from that. And before Robin, I'm just going to jump in there very quickly before you, Robin. Sorry. Did you ever try the ITC with the mobile phones? From room to room?
No, haven't tried it. No, haven't tried it.
It's so good. It is so good. It can be so good. But you know how to do it? A mobile phone in one room, recorder?
Yeah, I have heard of it. So it is. I'd love to do it. I'd be up for trying anything, really.
We do it all the time. And it's bloody, it's I want to send you on, if I can later. I'd love to send you on one of my favorite pieces of audio from that ITC experiment.
Yeah.
I'd love to send it on to you. I would love to send it on to you because I know you love audio. So I will do that later. Robin, go ahead with your question. Sorry.
Well, I built on that, though. I was thinking about how we do the phone things, and I don't do it as often as I should. And then I in the old days, I would take a recorder and I would put it with a physical wire to the other room, like a microphone. And now I've decided that I have all these lapel mics now for filming. And I'm like, why am I not leaving a lapel mic in there and sitting in here and asking the same similar type of thing? So I'm going to start doing that. I even bought a couple extra wires so that I could record straight to the laptop on that and just use that. And so it seems pretty simple to just try that, and you can pick that up and leave it anywhere, or multiples. If you think there's someone walking, they always walk from here to there. Let's put one mic, one lapel mic over there, the other lapel mic over there, and then sit back here and ask and see which one we get the answer. I like that too. And then you could say, like, this one's the left one. I like to do these type of, that one's the right one. Go to the right one and say your name. Go to the left and see if you can get that sort of participation. Anyway.
Exactly.
And another thing that we do is with the spirit box, we're doing a new thing. This is the one that worked in the power relations. I went into the room with headphones on and put the headphones into the spirit box, and I separated from the guys asking the questions.
Yes.
So they asked the questions. I had headphones on, and some of my responses, a lot of them, were what they were asking, and I couldn't hear them. So I would shout out what I heard, whatever I heard.
Do you know what, Matthew? That's what we did a few months ago in Redwood Castle. We had one of the girls in the guards, in the second floor. I want to say hi, Aiden, very quick. Hi, Aiden. I grew up with Aiden in my neighborhood, and now he lives in Minnesota.
Yeah,
many years ago. But when we were in Redwood Castle a few months ago, we had one of the team members in the guards room on the second floor. Yeah. So she had the headphones on her, the blindfold on her, and we were in. She had a walkie-talkie, so we were on the floor beside it. Yeah. So we were I was calling her questions. We were filming her at the same time as well to see if anything was coming through. A few things came through, a few names came through.
Yeah.
But it's a hit and miss. It's a trial and error, hit and miss kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's become one of my favorite things to do, honestly, because when it's on, it's on. When they are answering you right through there, and I'd say at the Conjuring House there wasn't much that went on there, but one thing is that it answered through that, and like a charm. Like I was forced. I was like, I'm not going to stop until you just do this one thing for me. Like, come on, like I'm begging my friend, come on. But it's really the spirit. And so it finally said, okay. And it told me the things I wanted to know. And then it said, okay, we're done. Get out. But it was literally have that on and have it's just a fascinating thing to me. Yeah. And I absolutely am in love with it. But the problem is people they don't record.
Yeah,
they're just listening through the headphones, and so take a lapel mic or a something and get it close.
Would you reckon, Robin? Sorry, Robin, from cutting in. Would you reckon now the lapel mics would be a piece of equipment that we could take on locations with us?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Would you take them on with you, Matthew?
Yeah, sound brilliant. That's I'm not someone that's hugely technical. I kind of know.
They're plug and play anymore. They're really plug and play type of things, and they're just like a recorder in a lot of ways. You're just recording somewhere else, and that mic and the mic part is wherever you want.
We would just take microphone. We would just take audio and video with us. Is that what you would take with you, Matthew? It's just video and audio, video and audio. I would. I'm happy as a pig and poo with that.
Well, there's so much stuff now, technology-wise.
It's like keeping up with the Joneses.
Yes. As a person who does that, I don't always do it, and I'm super happy with just a recorder. I'm super happy with just a camera and a recorder. But I can be the person that brings a truckload of stuff with me, and I will. It just depends on the location, why we're there, what we're doing, and what's expected of me, and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Matthew, what do you think of cat balls?
I don't trust them yet. They seem to, for me, they're going off too often. They seem to be going off every investigation.
I know.
I remember there was a place we were doing recently. It's called El Phoenix. It's just one of the historic pubs in Cork, and it was going off. And I noticed that every time I pressed up, I was leaning up against the wall.
Vibration.
The cat ball was going off.
We'll set it off.
Yeah. So I don't think much of them.
And another thing I was going to ask you as well, but the Boo Bears, and people pay €150 for a Boo Bear, and I keep saying, take a freaking normal teddy bear, slash his ass, stick a REM,
stick an EMF, stick a K2 right up his ass, and there you go, you got yourself.
Well, that's my thing, or a K2, and it's cheap as chips. You've made your own Boo Bear, that's it.
It is. You're really paying for the work that they do to just move the wires into the little hands and feet and that sort of thing. It's not super complicated.
And, like when you buy from these places, a lot of the time, like a camera, just because it has paranormal stuck on it, they'll charge an extra €10.
Absolutely.
It's not just, I tell you,
it's just that people do not understand what their equipment does, how it works. All the EMF stuff from RIM, I've said this ad nauseum. All the RIM pods, all of the different things, K2, all of it, it's all the same exact, very close technology in different packaging. But, some people, they're not interested in how this stuff works.
Up with the Joneses. I got this coffin EMF, and I'm like, well, so what?
It's shaped like a, trapezoid or whatever,
I think a lot of it is people, like there's been new groups start up and they go off and buy, they buy like €2,000 worth of equipment in the first month.
Don't do it. Get it.
And then after a couple of weeks.
Matthew,
they're back to their recorder and their video camera.
Matthew,
maybe box.
What would be if anybody, and I know this question was asked to me last week.
Yeah.
And I gave probably the wrong answer, but I had to correct it. It was a joke answer, but I had to correct it. I'm not going to tell you my answer just yet. If somebody was starting off in the paranormal field, brand new, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them? And they're going to kill me for taking that question, but I'm doing it. What would you tell new people?
Equipment-wise, I would tell them audio recorder and a camera. A camera to film, a night vision camcorder. I would also tell them, don't expect what you see on TV. You are going to have loads of boring nights. It's not, you can't expect what happens on Ghost Adventures to happen in real life. If it was that easy, everybody would believe in the paranormal. If it was just turn up and stuff happens 24/7.
And take your shirt off. If you just showed up and took your shirt off,
here
comes the incubuses and succubuses.
Like I've often people that last in our group, it's usually because they love history or they love, just even seeing the buildings. Because you might go somewhere like I remember paying like was it €700 or €800 to do Lep Castle, and we didn't get anything. And you could see some people were devastated. But the people that stay on, the people that's last in groups, they just love being, they like being there with the history.
That's the one for me, Matthew. That's the one, like I said earlier before we came on live, that, Jesus Lord, I am now solo on Emerald Isle Paranormal Researchers because I cannot take another thrill seeker on with me.
Yeah.
You wake up the hours, you don't have to wake up the hours I wake up, but be, kind of, it's fun to start off with.
Yeah.
But come on, like it's hard work. It's treacherous. It's expensive. I pay for every equipment we have. I've paid for it, so you don't have to worry about equipment. I've paid for it. We have insurance. I'm gonna pay my insurance next year, and so on. But don't be a thrill seeker. I have now committed to taking nobody on Emerald Isle Paranormal Researchers because I am done. I'm in the field 16, almost 17 years, and Emerald Isle is going 5 years, and I am now, for the first time, content of being on my own in Emerald Isle.
Yes, it feels good. When you get somebody, there's a complete spectrum of people, and all of it's kind of has its place, and it's okay. But what we're doing in certain situations, we need an analytical, logical person. Can have some fun, but there's the point where you have to work and you have to do it right. So where are you on the spectrum? Are you a thrill seeker? Are you a researcher? Are you a ghost hunter? What are you? Because there are different, and we can all flip around on that from time to time, right? Well, but in general, what are you?
Yeah, and I do have a trainee coming on with me, and it's kind of like, I'm kind of at that stage that,
I'll have to say, I think because we started, I was very young when we started, so it was a family thing that we began. Yeah. So we all knew each other, and it just made it easier. I suppose we weren't looking for any members, and then over time, we've kind of grown and we've brought more people on.
Yeah.
Most people don't
Right.
last, but we've pretty much had the same group for about 7 years now.
That's a brilliant thing.
Yeah, and we've brought in 2 new
really
people the last year, and they're brilliant. Like, I'll be totally honest, we've had people before. Every time they were there, something was happening. So we've targeted them because we knew they were faking it.
Listen, Matthew, if you have any application forms, will you send them on to me? I could be retiring Emerald Isle Pardon Researchers and starting up with Cork Supernatural Society.
Yeah, but we have been
I really have to share a quick story based on you said that there was a couple of people and every time they were there, something would happen. It's kind of like how Zach Bagans gets possessed every episode somehow. But this woman was doing this. This was 20 years ago. She was doing it, and I knew that she was exaggerating everything. We all could feel it, we just knew it. And we had been on this very long walk. And all I did was casually say, and I meant it, I was like, oh, my legs feel funny. And what I meant was I was tired. I was tired of freaking walking and my legs hurt. And she goes, mine too. They have my legs. And she collapses onto the floor. And we were like, we can't. And this, we were all tired and you're a psychopath. It's like, what is going on? So like, we're done with this lady. But it was perfect though. She's like, me too. They've got me.
That reminds me, we had someone before, and every location, I remember her saying that she felt her belly was being rubbed, like a spirit was rubbing her belly.
Nice.
Wow.
And then the next location, it would be, there's a spirit whispering into her ear or something. All these things that were coming out every investigation.
Jesus, these are hard work people.
Yeah, and then the next investigation, we got a K2 hit, and she dropped the meter and just froze. You could see she was terrified. And I was thinking to myself, how can an invisible person be rubbing your belly? And, like if even though I'm used to it, if someone rubbed my belly, a ghost, something I couldn't see, I'd jump out the window. You know what I mean? I wouldn't
be like,
rub my belly and whisper in my ear. It sounds romantic. I don't know.
Maybe if you knew it was going to happen.
Matt, Tara saying, Matt, don't drop us. There's another audio here that EVP that I want to play as well. And there's pictures I have to send quickly. There's pictures because we're almost coming up to the end of time. So I'm going to play the audio and then I'm going to show the pictures. So let me do this one. This one's Kelly's Bar in Cork in Supernatural. Supernatural night, because that's what Robin had written. Kelly's Bar in Cork. Can you tell us a wee bit about Kelly's Bar in Cork?
So that place, it's right in the centre of Cove. It was a place. It was actually, Anthony Kerrigan from Ghost There.
Listen, he's my bro.
Yeah, hello, Anthony too.
He's my bro. He's a fist bump.
This is, like, to be totally honest, we saw him didn't know the history about it. It was right left. People stayed. It was last People Island. It was the last place they stayed.
Say it again, Matthew, because you broke up a wee bit there. Start that again from the beginning because you broke up a wee bit.
It was Can you hear me now?
You're good. Keep going. Yeah,
okay,
you're good. Keep going. Yeah, you're good.
But people stayed there. But the night before the Titanic left, that's where they stayed in Kelly's Bar.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was the last place they stayed in Ireland. So we just wanted to try it. And we did it on the anniversary, the night before the Titanic left. So that was the main history that drew us to it.
Wow. Do you see, Robin, the places that Matthew and his team has gone to? Like, this is why we've been like, I can't make it tonight. Okay, come next week. Please come next week. And I said to Robin today, I said, Cork Supernatural Society is coming on tonight. Are you still free?
Yes.
Yes, I'm free.
Yes. No, I'm super impressed.
Your locations are phenomenal.
Yeah, but that is, to be fair, that is one we robbed from Anthony because we saw him do it and we went in.
But Anthony Kerrigan, isn't he? Are you going to the Paracon next year?
Yeah.
I have my hotel booked for the weekend. I am
Yeah, me
going
too.
for pleasure. Do you?
Yeah. So,
What hotel are you staying in? The main hotel?
what? Let me
The
think.
Brandon? Is it the Brandon or?
Yeah, Brandon House Hotel.
Me
You
too.
guys.
Me too. So we're all
Yeah.
going to be staying, and that's the best thing because you get to stay in the same hotel and you meet like-minded
Yeah.
fabulous people that we
Yeah.
can all sit on the lake bar and
Yeah.
talk crap, talk
Yeah.
sense first, and then end up talking different spirit, gin and tonic and whatever. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot
Yeah.
wait. I
It'll be
cannot wait.
brilliant. Brilliant. It's a
I'm,
brilliant
I'm
idea,
so
you know.
glad. I'm so glad your team and yourself are going. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
And this is why we do it, like Anthony and Mary Nolan that set this up. It's February the 18th. You there?
Yeah. So,
February
wait.
the 18th, which is
Yeah, we can hear you.
this whole thing is happening, and like-minded fabulous people from the teams of Ireland and the UK, and some are coming over from America to do this, and it's a one-day convention.
Yeah.
It's from, I think it's 9,
Yeah.
9:30 in the morning until about 11 in the morning. I'm not too sure. They will kill me if I get it wrong until that evening. But it's
11:30,
going to
I
be,
think.
is it half 11 in the morning until 9 that
Yeah.
night?
Yeah. So,
And then
be brilliant.
we'll be down. I can't wait. There's some really fantastic teams going down.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Okay, I'm going to play the last EVP, and then I have pictures to show you very quickly. So here we go with this EVP. Oh.
No, that's one we have a debate about all the time.
Oh, I got something.
Some people think it's a woman. I hear a man's voice. What I hear is Thomas, but I'm the only one.
Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to listen again because I heard some. I couldn't decide. It was between two different words.
I got two words. I got two words. Female.
I thought it was female, but sometimes I feel dubious about like how they're communicating. Can we really tell if they're males or females? But it felt female to me.
So what did you hear? Male, female? How many syllables did you hear? How many words?
I had male voice, one word, Thomas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what
Robin?
I heard.
Female, one syllable. And it could be either two words. I hear either coke or cloak.
Do you know what I heard?
What?
And it's going to be like totally different to what you two guys heard.
Cool.
I heard
like that.
female saying, "Don't stop."
Oh, okay, you've got to play it again.
Isn't that crazy that we all hear the freaking different?
Well, it's yeah. We're not wearing headphones. Let's hear.
Welcome to the world of paranormal. Okay, so let me. This what boils my thing, me Jake.
Let's hear.
Okay, so let's play it again.
Now I can't unhear it. I hear what Matthew hears. I hear Thomas. Just getting Thomas. Just making sure.
I was focusing on what I heard, so I didn't do it properly.
I was trying to hear don't stop. I was trying to hear what you heard, and try to get the coke or cloak thing out of my mind. And instead, I heard.
Can I listen to it one more time?
Do yeah.
Because I was listening to my don't stop thing. So let me listen to it one more time if I can. I'm sticking to what I heard.
Yeah.
Thomas. Even to the point where I can hear like a tooth thing where he says Thomas, like the little whistle thing at the end. Thomas.
Yeah. And the only thing I could think of, the owner of the bar at that time was a Thomas. So I don't know. Is it a connection to him on it?
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Oh, Tanya's hearing Thomas as well.
Thomas. I can distinctly hear the T and the S. I mean, I hear Thomas. I hear that word like very clear, which is funny because when I made that video real quick so we could put it on here, I thought it said Coke with a K. I even turned to my husband and said, I can hear the K and the K at the end like someone's asking for a Coke. So, but it's not at all. See.
Okay, so we're hearing Thomas. Now, Matthew, you're hearing a male saying Thomas.
Yeah.
And Robin, now I hear it as a male.
I'm hearing different because that's just bloody Jennifer. Oh, Mav can hear. I can hear count us. Mav, really?
Are you wearing headphones? And I want to say, listen for that. Listen for the hard.
I heard the. Natalie, if you're still here, let me know and we can play it again.
See, and you thought it was "don't stop," Jenny? Is that we said "don't"? Because you hear right here that the T.
Yeah.
You hear the T and "don't." Try to ask your brain: is the T the beginning of Thomas? Thomas. You're still hearing a T sound. That T.
I'm hearing the D. Don't. And then the rest. My hand.
Maybe don't, Thomas. Maybe don't.
Can I play it one more time? I know I drive people crazy. Can I play it one more time? Matthew, can I play it one more time?
Yeah. Fire away.
I hear it more and more, Thomas.
I tell you, I'm sticking to what I heard. I
feel like it's just a really elderly man going, Thomas.
Natalie, did you hear that piece of audio? I know it's on the computer and so on. Did you hear it? Because we are all hearing different things, which is natural, which is normal.
It is normal.
But it's a good thing. So when you hear something like this, Matthew, when you hear, like for me, when people say, Jenny, I hear this, and someone else hears this, and someone else hears that, I will write them down. What I hear, what someone else hears on the same EVP, and I will ask those 3 different questions to the answers of what people have heard. Mm-hmm. But you do something like that.
Yeah, I tried that, and we've tried stuff like that. The Thomas one was... I'm the only one in the group that has Thomas.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and then you ask questions and then you say, does any of it fit with what we were doing? Does any of it make sense in that? And the thing though, that no matter what, everyone's hearing something different. The one thing you can agree on is that there is audio on that recorder that nobody said that's coming from.
Yes. Okay. We have that, but I want to know what Matthew would think of that piece of audio. I'm just listening to what Natalie's saying here. In heaven, have a good listen to headphones. Natalie, if you can, I'll send it on to you. But is like sorry, Robin and Matthew. What I'm saying is that it has to be played time and time again. And Matthew knows the location.
Yeah.
We are just hearing what we're hearing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So
I would always default to the person who did the investigation. They know what's going on. Like I hear this and that, but that default to that. And then I would ask, like, anybody in the room, is your name Thomas? Is your middle name Thomas? Is your surname Thomas? Like, who is that? Is he talking to one of us? Is he telling us his name is Thomas? Whatever.
Well, that wasn't, we weren't actually in the building when that was recorded. That building was empty. So there was cameras there. No one was in there. That voice is just picked up. we just left the audio there recording, and that voice.
Did you tell them that you were leaving a recorder running?
We did. Yeah, we did. I don't remember asking for a name, so it doesn't make any, like, as I said, the owner at the time was Thomas. So is it a message to him?
Isn't that just, it's just.
Yeah, but as I said, I'm the only one in the group that has Thomas. Everyone else has completely different. And
it's
we all
phenomenal how we
Johnny Laurel, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I tell you, we just kind of get different audio. It's not just a pain in the arse when you do paranormal. It's a pain in the
too,
arse.
because people have it as a male and a woman and a female. They have it. So like usually we all agree it's a male, but it might be something different being said. This we don't even agree on is it a female or a male?
Yeah.
And you two guys, Robin and Matthew, you get the same thing now, and I'm still with what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a different sex, and I'm hearing different words.
Well, I'm still going to say that, all of our hearing could be tested out differently. First of all, if we went in to go get to a hearing store to get a hearing aid or something, we could all test out differently, and tones will just disappear for some of us on higher, and tones will just, you know what I mean? There actually could be layers to that EVP, and you're just hearing something we can't, that we physically are unable to, and it's no fault of our own. It's not even a discernment thing. It's just something we can't, and vice versa.
I always find that fascinating that we can't hear the EVPs. We can't hear them at the time.
The DVP, yeah.
Is it because the recorders pick up on a higher frequency?
But some people can pick up in DVPs.
Okay,
you can hear disembodied voices, and that's different. From the recorder. The recorder, it records a wide range, way out of human hearing range.
Yeah,
definitely.
Someone said to me recently, if this voice is picked up on a different frequency, how can we hear it when we play it back? Wouldn't it?
Because it's easier technologically. I almost had trouble saying technologically. Technologically, it's easier. If you wanted, on recording, you would have to go in with software or whatever and actually tell the recorder, I don't want all this extra stuff. That's why you have different settings on certain newer recorders, because it does filter out, and condenser mics are different from a broad mic. They filter out noise around them, and so you actually have to tell the recorder. It's actually harder to make it.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes with sorry, Robin. With DVPs is some things that will happen, can happen, and does happen.
Yeah.
With these recorders and so on and so on, DVPs will happen. It's like when people say you have two recorders in the same room, just in case one picks up and the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
And you have a DVP, and the recorder picks up the DVP at the same time. Thankfully I have something like that from my home. That I have an EVP and a DVP at the same time, and I have it on my recorder.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's people say you, and I don't understand this unless people come and tell me that you have this frequency, whatever, that you can get the DVP.
Yeah.
Or it just happens that these people want you to hear them at that moment in time.
Right. And they're somehow privy to know how to make that happen.
Yeah.
When you say DVP, what does that stand for you?
Disembodied voice phenomena.
Okay, that's what I thought too, which is something you hear with your own ears, and you don't need any equipment.
Yes, but if you're lucky, you'll get both. You'll get it from the DVP.
But sometimes it doesn't, right? It does not record, even though clearly everyone hears hello, and you listen back, it's not on your recorder.
But I have both from my home.
And then there are some that do. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. If you're lucky, and you've got to be lucky enough to have both of them, which is phenomenal because.
And this is where physics comes in.
I have it. I have it already. It's phenomenal. It's amazing. I have it already. Yeah. Okay, so
I've only ever heard two disembodied voices, and neither of them were caught on audio. So I've never caught a disembodied voice, and I've heard it at the time twice, but I didn't pick it up on audio either time.
it's crazy because of the frequency and so on, and they still trying to work an edge between the frequency and the radio and recorders, between your hearing, the frequencies from the recorders that we're using.
That part I don't have an explanation for
exactly.
Sure.
Is it something we have, something we don't have? Is it something that they want us to pick up on?
Yeah,
and then the recorders is picking up on something else. So sometimes it's not rocket science to understand this piece of work. It just is what it is. They either want you to hear them at the same time, and your recorder picks up at the same time.
That's the explanation that we're left with, really, is that they have some sort of a choice or an ability to manipulate. Otherwise, it's beyond our explanation at this point. So.
I think sometimes just to accept. And just sometimes
and enjoy the moment, accept and enjoy the moment.
Exactly. Just accept it, have it, own it, and the rest someone else can do.
That's right.
I'm not doing it.
That's right.
So I'm going to go on these pictures now, right? So this is from Cork, Grave Abbey in Cork.
Timoleague Abbey. So
this is a daytime photograph.
Oh, this. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So the next picture is going to be nighttime picture. And you clearly seen something there when you went through your photographs. And then this is it being zoomed in.
Yeah, we're not looking at the dust orb, guys.
Yeah. So this bit is what happened, Matthew? Like, what was this? Where was this?
So this was in a place, it's Timoleague Abbey in West Cork. We were just coming out of the infirmary in the Abbey, and we were walking directly towards that, where you can see that figure. I just took a series of photos, didn't see it at the time, and we walked literally straight out there. We all had strong torches, didn't see anybody. There wasn't anyone there. We had cameras. We had motion cameras on. We had motion sensors. There's no way anybody could get in there without us seeing them. There was 5 of us, all with strong torches, walking right towards it. So it was a very quiet night. Nothing happened. We didn't get anything. We exactly where that figure stood. We did an EVP session a few seconds later and didn't get anything. So it was only when I went back, and initially I was thinking, surely there must be something. There's a grave near there, so I was thinking, surely is it just a statue that I forgot about? So we went back the next morning, and the daytime photo is from that exact same spot. You can see the grave there, and there's nothing there. There's no statues there anyway,
One thing that I really like about that figure is you can see that he just is wearing period clothing, like the style of the pants. If you really look at that, that is something, because there were not a bunch of sizes. You have to remember that back in the day, there were maybe two or three, and the legs, the way they are large, baggy kind of legs or whatever, that kind of speaks to that. That sort of style too, and I'm just trying to think of it. It has a name, I can't think of it right now. But if you really look at those clothes, those are not now. No one's going to be
regular clothes today.
Those are like.
So this is the picture that you originally was taken.
Yeah, that's the original picture.
Yes. So the ball on the right hand side is just weather, insect, nothing like that. We don't look at that. Who caught the eye of something on the left?
It was my photo, so I was just going through them the next morning. And I just could, funny enough, I was actually skipped past it, and I kind of went back for double take, and I could see something. I can see it looks like it just looks like a person standing there. So that's when I started zooming in. We sent a photo too now. To a lot
and then you got this.
Yeah, we've sent, because that went when we posted that, a load of newspapers covered that, and Archie did a short piece on it. But we sent it to camera experts to see to show that we didn't add it, you know. And I'd happily say if there's anyone out there that is a camera expert, they can take the photo, download it. It's not something we added. It was there. It just became a question: was it a statue, or is there any way someone could have got in there?
No, that's one of the finest pictures I've ever seen.
In the house.
That is literally one of the best pictures I've ever seen.
Brothers and sisters. We are here in the house. I find, even though people have said, about this photograph and how you might have manipulated it, I find and you will get people that would say that, but
you're always going to say that.
Get the other people you will also get the other people that would say the ones who know you, the ones who don't. And I just find this. I mean, your audio that you've sent tonight was just impeccable. It was freaking amazing.
Yeah. That is what I would say. Like, I would say for a lot of people, like, I didn't believe in the paranormal before. Well, I did believe in it, but I did think a lot of it was probably faked. And I still think a lot of it is fake.
It's a good, healthy mind to think like that too.
Yeah. It's only people that know me and, people in the group, we know it's not fake. So it does. I don't really mind if people believe it or not. So,
because at some point, are you really doing it so that you can prove to the world that paranormal is real? Or are you doing it for your own satisfaction and knowledge?
Yeah, satisfaction, and it's something I've been doing from a very young age. So it's just something. It's like, I don't know, at this stage, I'm friends with everyone in the group. We're almost like a family. So it's just
you're presenting what you find, which is. Yeah. I mean, like, I couldn't wait to get you on Shadow Whispers in the night.
Thank you.
Like, I really couldn't, because I've heard a lot of great things about you beforehand. And I was saying, like, I got to work with you or have you on my show. And I'm so glad I did, because I love your work. And I've said it to you before we went on live tonight. I love your work because I think it's genuine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no bull crap about it. And I cannot wait to meet you in February.
Yeah, that's if you follow the Facebook page, we've done, like, this year has been really active. We've done a lot of investigations, and the vast majority we say the exact same thing. Nothing happened. We give a history post. Nothing happened. Yeah. It's rare enough. It's rare enough that we do post anything. We've been on a good spell this year. We've got a few really good EVPs, but I remember about 2 years ago we done the Madeleine Laundry, St. Kevin's, all those places. We done all the kind of big famous
ones. You've done
ones.
Amazing locations.
Yeah,
like,
but we went literally for 2 years without getting anything. And in St. Kevin's, in the Maggies, we got nothing for 2 years. So, like, this year's been good. We've got a few EVPs, but
because they know you, and they're like, they not just they didn't know before, but they work with the best of the best. If I can say that, and yes, I'm going to say it. I keep hitting my microphone with the pen because I forget this bloody thing is sitting here beside me. But with Natalie saying Fleur jeans with a male cap, and he's got it back in the picture. That's exactly the thing too. I think your work, Matthew, your team's work, it speaks for itself.
Yes, thank you.
I think you are a freaking amazing team, and I want you to come up to Drogheda. Come up to Millmount anytime and just say, Jenny, we want to get into Millmount Museum. I'm like, tell me when, and you're coming in. I would love for your team to experience Millmount to what I've experienced for the last 6 years. Yeah. And I would like to have your feedback on the location as well.
Yeah.
So I just, hi, AJ. And Tara, I like to think of it as spirits, not before. Yes, Tara. Well, that's... Absolutely. Exactly. Totally agree with that. Yeah. I totally agree with that. We are going to say goodnight here now, and my dog is just choking on my couch.
I can hear one of my cats is trying to get in the door as we speak.
Yeah. My husband's walking around with a drink. Like, are you done yet? Are you done?
Oh, really? Hi, Bill.
We've all got our things to take care of, I guess. But yeah, it's been 2 hours. A quick 2 hours. I enjoyed meeting you, and I hope someday I get to meet you in person. That would be an honor for me, because you are a fantastic investigator. Clean.
Thank you.
simple, and I mean that in a compliment, and just damn good evidence, and
salt of the earth. Salt of the earth, the real ones and the genuine.
The real ones, yeah.
Thanks a million. I've loved it. Thank you for having me on. I've really enjoyed it.
Listen, I want to say thank you for giving your time to come on to Shadow Whispers in the Night. And I mean, I've been a fan of yours for a long time, so I want to say thank you so much, and giving us your audio and your pictures. You
definitely do it again, because there's plenty more.
You see, you don't need to tell me that now, because I'm going to have you on every freaking weekend, and you're coming up to Drogheda, and I'm going down to Cork. Am I gonna? Oh, my daughter's asking me, "Are you still alive? Are you still alive?" Yes, Jess, I'm still live. I'm coming off now in 2 minutes, lovey, in 2 minutes. But listen, I could not have waited for this night. What's Anthony saying? I gotta let the rats in. You wouldn't even Anthony, we're coming down to you in February. We're coming down. Matthew, where can people find you on Facebook?
Just look up Cork Supernatural Society. We're on Instagram, and we've started a new TikTok as well. Just all Cork Supernatural Society, and you'll find us.
Okay, that sounds fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, check you out. Matthew, it's snowing in Kerry.
It's probably coming here, so it's more near.
Anthony, blow it up. Blow it up, Anthony. Blow it up to us. So we are going to stay in the background for 2 tickety boos. I want to say thank you to everyone who commented, watched in, and look who we have here tonight. Now we have my dog.
Oh,
my dog is always here. I think there's a moment going on with these dogs tonight. Want to say thank you. He's just Anthony. Really, he's just joking. There's no snowing. Feck you anyway, Anthony. Heck yeah, I thought it was freaking snowing. Want to say thank you to everyone who watched, who liked, who commented, who shared, who jumped in and said hi to us, and to Robin, my fabulous co-host tonight, my guest co-host tonight. Thank you so much, and to Matthew from Cork Supernatural Society that jumped in, and we would love you back on.
But definitely, yeah, 100%.
We would love to have you back on with us. It would be amazing, and I would love it. So
definitely
seeing there in the background for 2 tickety boos. I'm going to bring us back out. I'm going to bring us into the. See, I'm a one-woman show. I've got to do all this freaking work. I need a PA. I need a PA. So we're going to say good night. I am back on tomorrow night, not on my show, but a different show. No rest for the wicked. No rest for the beautiful. We should be. I'll be back on tomorrow night. But anyway, stay in the background. We're going to say good night. Love you. Mwah.